Right now, somewhere in your body, an alarm is going off. You can't hear it, you can't feel it directly, but it's there, quietly screaming that something is wrong. You might call it loneliness. Your brain calls it something else entirely. It calls it danger. For most of human history, being alone didn't just feel bad. It killed you. And your nervous system never got the memo that things have changed. Here's the strange part. You can be surrounded by people right now, scrolling through hundreds of faces on a screen, and still feel the exact same alarm as a human standing alone on an empty plane 40,000 years ago. Same circuitry, same signal, different world. So what is loneliness really? Not the poetic version, the biological one. Start with the body. When you feel isolated, your brain doesn't process it as an emotion first. It processes it as a threat. Cortisol rises, blood pressure climbs. Sleep gets shallow and fragmented, the kind where you wake up more tired than when you went to bed. This isn't a coincidence or a personality flaw. It's a survival system doing exactly what it evolved to do. Psychologist John Cacioppo spent decades studying this, and what he found reshaped how scientists think about loneliness entirely. Cacioppo argued that loneliness isn't just an unpleasant mood. It's a biological signal, as real and urgent as hunger or thirst. Hunger tells you your body needs food. Loneliness tells you your body needs people. And like hunger, ignoring it doesn't make the need disappear. It just makes the alarm louder. Why would evolution build something so uncomfortable? Because for nearly all of human history, isolation meant death. Picture an early human separated from the group. No weapons stronger than a sharpened stick. No walls, no fire unless someone else helped keep it burning. Predators didn't test their luck against a group of 30 humans working together. They tested it against the one who wandered off alone. The tribe wasn't just company, it was your immune system, your food source, your childcare, your defense against the dark. Being cast out wasn't a social inconvenience, it was, in the most literal sense, a death sentence. So your brain built an early warning system, a little internal voice that whispers, "You are exposed. Get back to the group." That whisper is loneliness. It's not weakness. It's an alarm bell forged over millions of years, still wired into you today, still going off in a world where you can technically survive completely alone. But here's where it gets stranger, and this is the part most people never learn. In the 1950s, psychologist Harry Harlow ran a set of experiments that still unsettle people who hear about them for the first time. He separated infant rhesus monkeys from their mothers and gave them two artificial substitutes. One was made of bare wire but dispensed milk. The other was soft, covered in cloth, warm, but offered no food at all. Which one do you think the baby monkeys chose? They clung to the soft cloth mother for nearly every hour of the day, only leaving briefly to feed from the wire one. Comfort beat nutrition. Connection beat survival math. Even when food was on the line, these infants prioritized the feeling of closeness over the thing that kept them alive. Think about what that means for you. Your need for connection isn't some optional extra layered on top of your basic survival instincts. It runs just as deep, maybe deeper. Now fast forward to the modern world, the one you actually live in. You are, statistically, more connected than any human who has ever existed. You can message someone on the other side of the planet in less than a second. You can see the faces of people you'll never meet, hear their voices, know what they ate for breakfast. And yet, loneliness isn't disappearing. In many places, it's climbing. Why? Because your ancient alarm system wasn't built for this. It was built for eye contact, for shared meals, for someone noticing when you didn't show up, for touch, for shared laughter in the same room, for the specific, irreplaceable feeling of being physically seen by another person. A notification is not the same as a nod from someone who knows you. Your nervous system knows the difference, even when your conscious mind tries to convince it otherwise. This is where the science turns genuinely alarming. Researcher Julian Holt-Lundstad led a massive analysis pulling together data from more than 300,000 people, tracking how loneliness and social isolation related to mortality. The results were staggering. Chronic loneliness was associated with the increased risk of early death, comparable to smoking up to 15 cigarettes a day. comparable to obesity, in some comparisons, worse. Read that again. Loneliness doesn't just feel bad. Statistically, it can shorten your life the way a pack-a-day habit can. Why would isolation carry that kind of weight? Because your body treats it as a chronic threat. Cortisol doesn't spike and settle the way it does after a single scary moment. It stays elevated day after day, quietly wearing down your cardiovascular system, weakening immune response, disrupting the deep sleep your brain needs to repair itself. Loneliness isn't a mood sitting quietly in the background. It's a slow, physiological siege. Here's the twist nobody expects, though. Loneliness isn't actually about how many people are around you. It's about whether you feel understood by the people who are. You can stand in a packed room and feel utterly alone. You can also sit by yourself in complete silence and feel completely at peace, because you know someone out there truly knows you. Scientists call this the difference between social isolation, the objective lack of contact, and loneliness, the subjective feeling of disconnection. They overlap, but they aren't the same thing. And this distinction matters because it means the solution was never just be around more people. It was always about being known. Think about your ancestors again for a moment. Their tribes were small, 50 people, 100 maybe. But within that small group, everyone knew everyone. Your fears, your strengths, your history, your face in firelight 1,000 times over. That kind of knowing built a buffer against the alarm bell of loneliness, because the tribe wasn't just present, it was intimate. Now compare that to your world. You might have thousands of digital connections and still lack a single person who truly knows the specific shape of your bad days. That mismatch, quantity without intimacy, is precisely what leaves so many people feeling isolated in the middle of a crowd. So what do you do with all of this? You start by taking the feeling seriously, not as an inconvenience to push past, not as evidence something is wrong with you, but as information. The same way hunger tells you to eat, loneliness is telling you something specific. You need real contact, not more contact. A short, unremarkable conversation with someone who actually sees you will do more for that ancient alarm system than 100 passive scrolls through other people's lives. You are not weak for feeling this. You are, in a very real sense, functioning exactly as designed. Your body is still running software written for a world of firelight and shared shelter, a world where noticing when someone went quiet could save their life. That software hasn't been updated. It doesn't know about apartments, time zones, or notification settings. It only knows the old rule. Find your people, stay close, survive together. So tonight, when that quiet alarm goes off, when the room feels a little too empty even with your phone lit up in your hand, remember what it actually is. Not a flaw, not a mood to be ashamed of. It's the oldest, most stubborn part of you, still standing on that empty plane, still listening for footsteps, still waiting for someone to come back and say, "You're not alone out here. I've got you."